Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be looking at routing in Nylo 5 and what's new. We're going to take a look at the initial route method, also route guards and also the auth page. To get started, head over to nylo.dev and you can download the latest version from here to follow along. So when you build and run the application for the first time, you'll notice that we have one route called homepage, and you can see this is using the initial route. And so this will be the first page that is loaded for our application. If you want to add more pages, we can just run this command from the top and just change the page name, but we'll just keep it as profile. This will add another route for us in our router. And if, for instance, we wanted to make this the first page, we can just use initial page true and remove it from the home page. If we build and run, you'll see now that we are on this page. Just to confirm, I'll just change the text here to profile, and you can see now we're using that profile page instead of the home page. So that's an introduction to initial route. It's very useful and allows a lot of flexibility just to quickly change that whenever you need to. So we'll just change it back to this for now. So the next feature we're going to take a look at is the auth page. And with the auth page, it allows you to set a page that you want authenticated users to redirect to first. So let's just create a new page. Let's call it the dashboard page. If we build and run that will add a new route. And we want to make this the initial route for people that are authenticated for our application. So I'm just going to change the title just so we know we're on the right page, dashboard. So now that we've created a dashboard page, you can see that we set this to auth page. So this will be the initial page that loads if the user is authenticated for our application. Of course, we've still got the initial route set to the home page, so this is why it's redirecting here. But for example, in our home page, if we just create a simple layout for like a sign-in, so I've quickly scaffolded this login page. It has a simple UI, just has a couple of text fields and also a login button. When we hit login, this is where we then implement the authentication for the user. So you can imagine we'll make like an API request here, and then we'll return back a user. And that user will have some properties. So in this example, I've just set like a fake user. This is like a fake instance, obviously. This would come back from an API request, but we have a user here. And then the next thing we need to call is just log in and just log in that user. So just pass in the model that we want to authenticate. And once we've done that, we'll just redirect the user to the dashboard page for now. So with all that, just rebuild the app and just click login. And you can see now we're taken to the dashboard page. And now if we refresh again, you'll see that we still stay on the dashboard page. And that's because we're setting the auth page equal to true here. And it means that this is now the initial route for our users if they're authenticated. So if we go into the dashboard page, which is the authentication page for us at the moment, we can actually call auth.user. And this will return the user that we are logged in as. Let's just import the class. And then we can actually use that user just like this in our application, so there's no need to run anything asynchronous or anything. You can just use the object just like that, and you can see how that's working. So if we refresh and build, you can see, yeah, it's still using the auth user that we logged in as. So yeah, really powerful. You can check out more of the docs over here. You can go to the auth page to see how that's working, or if you want to learn more about the authentication, how it works, just go over to authentication on the documentation. So the last thing I'm going to show you is how to use route guards in your Nylo project. Let's imagine that we have a profile page and we only want people that are authenticated in our application to access it. So for that, we can use a route guard just like this. And this route guard is quite simple. All it does is performs a check to see if the user is logged in. And if that login fails, then we're going to redirect to the login page. So this is essentially how you'd create your route guards. You can also use Metro from the command line to actually create your route guard. So we can perform like route guard is subscribed like that. and that will create a new route guard inside our project, just like that. But for this example, yeah, we're performing a check if the user's logged in. If that fails, we'll go to the login page. And if we head over to our router, what we're going to do is from the home page is try to route to this profile page and see if it works. So at the moment, we should be logged out of the application. For that, I'll just make sure by doing logout at this point. If we build and run again. So now that we're definitely logged out of the project, let's just build and run again and just hit the profile. And you can see it takes you to the login page because we're not authenticated in the project. If we try it one more time, but this time what we'll do is actually authenticate a user just before. Let's try it one more time. So this time we're going to be authenticated before we push to that route. So if we build and run, you can see now we get to the profile page. So yeah, really cool. If we just comment this out and just try it one more time, it should still work because we're still authenticated. So let's just go to profile and you can see that's all working. So that's an introduction to route guards in Nylo. You can check out the full docs on nylo.dev. Hope you've enjoyed the video and I'll see you guys in the next one.